Hey guys, this is Mitch of All Trades. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're an oldie but a goodie, what's up? Still here for a good time and for a long time. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about something personal to me as an individual and who I am and what I identify with, and that's being a person of color in healthcare, specifically being a black nurse. Disclaimer before I even start, I don't want to feel like this is very discriminatory, or I don't want anyone to feel offended. I don't want to sound stereotypical or prejudiced in any shape, way, form, any of that stuff. I can be very friendly and I'm open-minded and I'm very easygoing. I like to keep the peace, so I'm not here to start rambling or talking about people or doing any of that stuff. So let me just clear that so you guys see where I'm coming from. But I just feel like with everything going on, it's just something that God placed in my mind for me to speak about and for me to talk about with everyone here. So being that I am a young black female nurse, it's like I fit all the quote-unquote minorities, being young, being a female, being black, but it's whatever. I noticed a lot of things, and I feel like I have a different perspective on things than most people. And in my place of work, I have noticed recently that I'm the only young black female in my unit and my shift. So my day shift unit, I'm the only one. And I never really noticed it until I looked at pictures and I just realized, wow, I'm the only young black female nurse. But it puts a lot into perspective for me because I feel like I relate to a certain population of people, a certain generation of people that a lot of people can't or are unable to relate to. And I know in social media is very prevalent. People talk a lot about the whole medical racism and a lot of prejudice that goes on. And I honestly, like, when I read these stuff, I'm just like, wow, like, there's no lie to it. Like, some of the things that I read about is actually something that I've actually witnessed, things that I've heard about, things that I've actually seen people experience. So it's not like it's a myth or anything like that. These are things that people face on a day-to-day basis, being in the hospital, things that my friends who have been hospitalized have witnessed and have experienced themselves. So it is something that's real, that happens in our society. But I realized that being in the position that I am, I feel like I have a role to play, and I plan on using and exercising that role in my workplace when it comes to like wealth and stuff. Always, and especially young black individuals that are pursuing careers, we've been conditioned to be the best at where we are, to market ourselves very well, and to represent our race very well, because it's no brainer that our race is being portrayed so poorly. And it takes a few people who are in higher levels or who are in more privileged environments to be able to stand up and represent their color, their race better. So for us African Americans, I feel like we've been people like me who have been who are in positions that I am now. I feel personally the need to be excellent at what I do and to become a voice for the voiceless. Where I work, actually, the demographics of the community that I serve are mostly black people, African Americans who are living in low-income houses and neighborhoods. And one thing that I noticed that I feel like kind of bothered me a little bit, but it didn't really, like, you know, it just didn't tickle my fancy, was the fact that most of the leaders that are serving this community there's not much black representation. And to some people they feel like it doesn't make a difference, but I feel like to me it makes such a great difference, because you have to learn how to speak the language of the people that you're serving. And if you can't speak their language, it's hard for you to understand them. There are people that I've come across that while taking care of patients, where their demeanor, people can interpret it as something negative while it's not even the case. And it's happened so much, especially when it comes to younger patients, their generations, the millennial generation or the Generation Z, their demeanor, their behavior, people take it differently. People don't know how to act towards it. People don't know how to even address it. And when it's hard for you to, when you're not able to understand people, it's easy for people to just take their perception of you rather than trying to take the time to understand you. There are people who have maybe out of unsatisfaction have acted out, you know, in certain ways, and people fail to see their perspective of things. People fail to understand them. And being a young Black female, I feel like I've been given the privilege to be able to help bridge that gap. And that's something I would like to encourage anyone here, if you're a minority, or you don't even have to be a minority, but anyone who is willing to step up and rise to the occasion and help in being the voice for the voiceless. I feel like this is a video for you, especially in healthcare. There's a lot that goes on that really goes under the rug. There are people that have been neglected of care, and it's a sad feeling, but I feel like it takes one to know one. And until you learn to understand people, until you learn to give people that grace to understand where they're coming from and try to sympathize or empathize with them, you would never be able to effectively perform as a healthcare professional. You would never be able to effectively give care to people. You would never be able to effectively help people heal. And that's something that has kind of bothered me along the way, just working as a nurse where I am. Most of the physicians, if not majority of them, are white, and nurses is a mixture of races, and then most of the other workers, which are like the CNAs, environmental services, dietary people, most of them are Black. It would be nice to have a place where there's a mixture of cultures surrounding everywhere. There are times where we have patients that don't speak English, whether they're Hispanic or they're Africans, they don't speak English, or even not even that, like let's say they're Middle Eastern, they come from a different country, because they don't speak English, and maybe due to the neglect of whoever is taking care of them, they fail to try to understand them, understand their needs, understand what they want, and they just try and guess. That's something that I feel like it's very dangerous, and that's why a lot of people don't even get the care that they deserve. And a lot of healthcare professionals don't, sad to say, they don't care. Like some of them, they're only doing it for the money, and there's only a few people that do it for the passion or the desire to sacrifice for others and be selfless for others. A lot of people, they don't do it for that, and that's the sad thing. That's the sad world that we're living in. So for me, sometimes when I go to work, I try my best to make it a point to make their needs heard. Since like nursing school, I've come across a lot of like people, be it professors or students, who look at me the way that I look and the way that I dress. Because back in college, I just didn't look like a typical nursing student. I always like had makeup, my hair done. I used to come in with like ripped jeans and like baggy shirts. Like I used to look mad, like hood, not really hood, but like just too fly to be a nursing student. That's basically to say the least. And because of that, a lot of people didn't really think that I had what it takes, or I had what it took. And I do know I had my fair share of negligence where I failed and stuff like that, because of I wasn't really serious. But there are times where I believe because of my demeanor, I didn't look like I was able to know certain stuff. So I feel like that helped me in a way, because now that I've overcome that and now I'm working in a professional setting, I can empathize with people who know what they're talking about, but they feel that they've been shut up, or they feel like they've been disregarded. And being that I have the power that I have and placed in the position that I am in, I feel like it's something that I'm willing to invest in, which is trying to create that avenue where people's voices can be heard. And not only can it be heard, but also to do something about it, because it's one thing to know a problem, but another thing to actually make an effort to do it. And it only starts with one person who is willing to go above and beyond and make that change. It was, okay, this young patient who was like, I don't know, I never had this patient before till this day, but I was hearing that, oh, he's rude, he's disrespectful, he's loud, da 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 da. And normally, let me just let you guys know, nurses, like whenever you get a report from people and they say this stuff, don't always believe everything that everyone says, because their experience of the patient is not the same experience you're gonna have. Me being the patient girl that I am, I went into the patient's room, and sometimes like people are upset for valid reasons. If they're feeling neglected, if someone is not doing the work that they're supposed to do, like you have to be able to understand that like people, they need to, like, they are in the hospital and they are sick, they need care, and if you're depriving them of that care, you can't be upset if they're angry. But long story short, this guy never yelled at me, never did anything, didn't even hit on me or anything like that. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was just more of respect, giving respect to people and making sure that their needs are heard, making sure that they feel heard. I think that's very important, especially for the generation of Black people and young people. So here's something I want to give any person of color pursuing healthcare. Keep it a goal in mind to advocate for your people, because if you don't, no one else would. Or not no one else, but not a lot of people would. Based on how you look, a lot of people can put you in a stereotype and think less of you. So it's important that you pursuing this leadership position as a nurse, as a doctor, whatever it is that you're doing, as a physical therapist, whatever field you are pursuing, be an advocate for your people. You have to show and prove to others not to judge a book by its cover, not to dismiss people just based on how they look or even based on their past. And honestly, that's what a leader is. A leader is an advocate. A leader does things for others. That's what a leader is. I'm so sorry. 6 minutes away. All right, I have 6 minutes to finish this video. But yeah, that's what a leader is. Like, I don't know how to stress this enough. Be that person who advocates. Be that person who says, I hear you, I'm gonna help you out. Just don't follow the crowd. Don't follow the crowd. Be that voice. Be that voice for the voiceless. Being in healthcare is not about you, it's about serving others, and that's something not everyone understands. You are in healthcare because you have to serve other people. So don't be one of those people who's just here to collect their coins, who's just here for the money. Like that doesn't make you any better of a person. And really, what are you here for? And a lot of people, they want to be known for something. Everyone has that need to feel important. They want to feel like they're doing something important. It starts off by what you're doing in the situation that you're placed in. You see someone being neglected, you see someone being that's in pain, that has no prescribed pain medication, or who has been crying of pain and people are disregarding it. Speak up. This is the time for you to speak up. In 2020, like, this is the time for you to speak up. Especially millennials. I feel like us, we've really been given that advantage where we have been brought up and raised up in exercising freedom, and we've seen how so many people have used their freedom to speak out on things and seen things change. Like, even a lot of racial issues that's happened in this world, like, we've seen the products of us speaking up. Why can't we do that in healthcare? In healthcare, we have to speak up. We have to be the change we want to see. We have to be the advocate for others. We have to be the voice for the voiceless. We can't see things happening and not speak on it. A lot of people that don't even speak English, sometimes they don't even know what's going on in their body. A lot of them, they don't even know what they're consenting to. And a lot of negligence, a lot of malpractice goes under the rug. It literally, like, I don't know how it's swept under the rug, but I feel like to prevent that, you have to also be there as an advocate. You have to make sure that you do your part and you educate, you advocate, you speak up for them, you let them know their voices are heard. This is a humanity issue, and a lot of us, we keep forgetting this, because honestly, if it comes to you, if the tables are turned, if the roles are reversed, you will want somebody to speak up for you. And that's another thing. A lot of people, they forget that it really could be them. It could be their family member, and because it's not them or their family member, it's hard for them to even try to understand people. The hospital can be so busy, it can be so fast-paced, it's easy to neglect things, but just remember that you're here for a reason, especially when you realize that nursing is your purpose. Like, it's more than just a job for you now. It's more than just a job for you. It's an assignment, it's a mission, it's a goal, it's bigger than what it is now. So you have to be that person. You have to cultivate that attribute of advocating for people. Sometimes some healthcare professionals, they go into a room, they don't even explain what's going on. They don't give the patients that option to even decline or accept something. Even if they decline, they don't even let them do it. They end up doing things anyway. I'm telling you, son, a lot of things happen in hospitals. A lot of negligence, a lot of breaking of confidentiality happens. Just think of it like, put yourself in other people's shoes. Just do that, and with that in mind, try to push to be advocates for people, push to make sure people's needs are heard, push to be the voice for the voices, push to paint a different picture of others. People are not just agitated and angry in general. They're not just naturally angry. They're angry for a reason. People are not acting a certain way just for no reason. There's reason for things, but if you fail to listen and if you fail to understand, that's when you missed it all. That's when you miss it all. And honestly, that doesn't make you very effective at what you do. I don't see any fulfillment coming out of that if you just neglect people and are only there for material reasons. But yeah, that's my little spiel. People are looking up to you, you guys, wherever you are. Be it patients, be it families. I can't even tell you the amount of people that tell me how appreciative they are of me and my attentiveness to their care and how I've been able to help them out. Like, now the hospital is a healing place. So as people heal physically, they need to heal emotionally and mentally. They need to feel heard, and especially people of color, we're always neglected. So you pursuing healthcare, just strive to be the best you that you can be. Strive to be the best. Strive to advocate for your people. Strive to be there for them. Like, they need you. They need you. This is people's health. This is people's life or death. Like, a lot of stuff goes down, and it takes one person to make that change and keep it going, keep the ball rolling, speaking out for people, just advocating, regardless of how you look. Because remember, it's not about you, it's about others. But yeah, stuff like this happens so many times and it's just annoying. But I'm glad that I am aware of this stuff, because it makes me willing to be mindful of my actions and be purposeful and intentional in what I do, so that I can be able to help other people out. Be that change that you want to see, man. Be that change that you want to see. But that's pretty much what I have to say. I hope this inspires somebody, and thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're feeling, how this made you feel. Comment how you feel. I'm open to everything. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Share it to your friends, and I'll see you later. Bye.